From author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Monday. Yes, Monday, June 7th. June already. Holy cats. 2021 edition of Nevermind the Furthermore. I'm your host, Brian K. Morris, but we can't do much about that. Anyway, what we can do is wish you a great work week. It looks like it's going to be rainy up near the compound here, but we're ready to have the sunshine in our hearts, folks. But anyway, glad you're here. I look like I got a tan. Yes, I did. I had a business meeting yesterday. It was out in the sun, and I forgot to wear a hat. So I could take off my fez, and it'll be the same color underneath. Anyway, hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you're looking forward to a great work week. And thank you very much for being here. And if you're looking forward to a great week, then you need to check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please subscribe to our page on Facebook. Yes, I just had my first 2 sips of coffee. Anyway, we've got you covered 7 days a week for entertainment and information. And I'm the only thing you got today. I'm sorry. But tomorrow is going to be a packed day because it's going to start out in the morning with Ted Davies, as Ted is going to have another great interview. And I know he'll be by later to tell us who it will be. He's told me before, but it's early. Anyway, please check that out. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be returning with another episode of Clever Tile Penning, where we're going to have Beowulf writer-artist Grant Lankard. He will be on the show and be charming and fun. And so you can ask him questions on his second Kickstarter campaign. How is it different from the first? What did he do differently? Is it working? Is it not? Get the skinny on it, because I think crowdfunding is becoming the new form of distribution, and it's a great way to have direct contact with your supporters. But anyway, please check out the Rising Tide Network. Please subscribe to all the YouTube channels that we have here, because we got a lot of them. We'd be glad to have you. Also, we want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Speaking of people that help keep us on the air, and Patreon is a monthly subscription service where for a modest sum every month, you can directly support your favorite creators, and many of whom you see on the screen have their own. But these fine folks have decided to help the Rising Tide mission, and thanks to them, it keeps us on the air. We'll put it that way. It helps. There are a lot of incidental expenses with putting on a show, even such as this. And we're grateful to have these guys, but we're giving them stuff for their contribution. It is a two-way street here. And if you want to see what I can do for you to add to your entertainment and let you see sneak previews and other great stuff from me, check it out. Check out Patreon. Check out what we offer at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And speaking of what we offer, please check out Snow Ambition, the brand new book by me, published by Ben Books. It's 99 cents on Amazon, and it's a thriller because we got a killer. Anyway, it's a terrific story. If I say so myself, I'm very proud of it, obviously. So please check out Snow Shorts series, and I'm number 4 in the series, Snow Ambition, available now on Amazon. And I want to thank everyone who's watching us, whether it's live or on the rerun. I want to thank our new Twitch commenters. We hope you like what we see. We are here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with all kinds of cool stuff, and also special things on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m. on Thursday nights, and it's all a lot of fun. But anyway, we got the people showing up already. Let's get your comments started. The first one in the door is Jake Lindsay at 9:38 on YouTube. Hey, Brian. Hi, Brian. Hi, Jake. I hope you're doing well today. Found out awesome news. I'm going to be performing at a huge outdoor theater. They're expecting about 95 people, and now I'm allowed having meet and greets and having people on stage. It's amazing. Well, good for you. See, Jake, you keep working the thing. It's true of all of us in the creative field. You keep working it, and it will reward you. You'll move up, you'll rise, you'll advance. If you're doing all the right things, if you're rising tide, the stuff comes back to you. And good. This is good to see, Jake. I'm glad to see it. And Teresa Dunn, mwah. Good morning, Jake. That's great news. I agree. And there's my darling Michaela Jade. Mwah. How you doing? Hey there. I'm working today, hauling hose. Is that code? It's muggy and miserable, but you can find motivation on her YouTube channel every morning. Definitely check that out before Michaela goes to work. And she's got a 9 to 5, like a great many of you. But she starts the day fired up. She gets going. She talks herself into tackling the day job because she knows that's just a temporary gig if you do it right. And she's working to get herself out of her job and into writing full time, like me. Who'd ever thought I'd be a role model? And Mikhail's like, no, you're not. You're not. Honest, you're not, Brian. Don't even think that for a second. But anyway, but no. Michaela's an incredible author. Please check out her shows on her YouTube channel, Michaela Jade. And also, please check out her books. She's got the Warriors trilogy currently available on Amazon. She is a fantastic writer, and you will love it. And somebody else we love is Teresa Dunn. Good morning, Brian and Nevermorians. I will be busy writing and listening today. Hashtag bring cookie home. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. And anyway, Teresa's got some great books on poetry. They're also available on Amazon. Look for Poetry Expressions, Volume 1 and 2. And June 26th and 27th, 25 or 6 to 4 pops. Context is part of promotion, dude. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Says Carl Witzman. Hey, Teresa, Michaela, don't work yourself to death, Michaela. Seriously, take care of yourself. Stay hydrated out there. And the best part, says Christian Illusionist Jake Lindsay, is I got 9 other shows booked after the one this Saturday. I've got Halloween shows, birthday shows, and shows at stores. That's great. Have you heard of a band called Blackmore's Night? Yes, they perform Renaissance fair music, but the best part is the girl sings like I never could pronounce that. Yvonne Evansens. Yes, Richie Blackmore is one of, you may not know this, Jake, but Richie Blackmore is one of the most celebrated guitarists in all of rock and roll. And he is, to give you an idea, Richie Blackmore had his own group called Rainbow in the 80s. And so I love that. I love Rainbow. It's a great group. But before that, he was with Deep Purple. And he was the guitarist on the iconic Smoke on the Water. An amazing guitarist. And I love his music too. Yeah, I do love Blackmore's Night. That is great stuff. It's kind of like this one period of Jethro Tull. Jethro Tull does similar stuff too, where it's very Celtic, very Gaelic, and but they add like a rock flavor to it. Yeah, that's good stuff, Jake. I'm glad you discovered it. Oh dear, here we go. What did the mummy order at the deli? A wrap. Good work. What's Dracula's least favorite food? Steak. Thank you, Christian Jake. And thank you, Christian Rock. Thank you, not Christian Rocker, but the Skunk Rocker. Oh, good Lord. How am I doing this show without this? Maybe I should have spiked it or something. Anyway, Morning, Nevermorian. Good morning to you, Skunk Rocker. Hope you had a great weekend, brother. Today's weird random factoid is brought to you by Stupid O'Clock, the only show on the internet hosted by actual barnyard animals. That's right, coated in sugar. It's really fun, and they're tasty and delicious. And I'll get to it, Jake. Don't panic. In the film Virtuosity, when Sid 6.7 is strutting his way through the flea market, look behind him in the overhead shots. The punk girl following him is mocking his walk. I did not see that. That's brilliant. Oh, that's funny. Well, what was it? I have a random factoid. You probably knew this. The movie Night Shift with Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton, one of Keaton's earlier films. And Winkler was still playing Fonzie on Happy Days. But they have a group of, I believe this is the movie, they've got a group of frat boys. And Shelley Long's in it too. But one of the group of frat boys in there goes on to become a very popular director, namely Michael Bay. When Michael started out, he was an actor. And so there you go. There's your factoid brought to you not by Stupid O'Clock, which you should watch every Thursday night at 9 and Saturday night at 11. Always a good time. And loved the Saturday night show. I got busy watching From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, which you all ought to check out. Jody McPhee does a great job. And also, please check out tomorrow night, leading up to Clever Tile Pending, is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS with our dear friend Christian Basil. Always a good time. Check out that show if you love Doctor Who at all. You'll get a lot out of that broadcast. But anyway, yeah, I love little bits of trivia like that. God, I'm trying to think. Captain Disillusionment does a lot of film chicanery, and he just released fairly recently a really good one on the special effects of Flight of the Navigator, which I think I only saw once, maybe in the theaters, but the special effects on it were breathtaking, and this was before the digital age. And yet they pulled just about all of them off without the audience really seeing the wires or the gimbals or everything. So that's definitely one to check out, Skunk. We're glad you're here, Skunk. I hope your morning's going well. Please tell us it is. And Christian Illusionist Jake Lindsay says, why did the policeman ticket the ghost on Halloween? He didn't have a haunting license. Good for you, man. Good for you. And Ted Davies Artistry, good morning all. I'm finishing up a few things on Grim 101 today, so I'll be listening, working. Ted, glad to see you and looking forward to tomorrow morning. Ted is a very prolific broadcaster on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Ted, like I said, tomorrow morning will be on, he'll be having his weekly interview show. Always a great interview show. Very laid back, very informative. And then Thursday, Ted is a collector of fine, and sometimes not so fine wristwatches, and he will review Ted Talks timepieces on Thursday morning. Then at 6 p.m. on Friday evening, he and his wife Christine do Drinking with the Davies, where they teach you about old drinks that were hip back in the day, and how you can make a lot of your adult beverages healthier. And it's really an informative show. Christine is our breakout star, and she's amazing. And so is Ted. Don't let anybody tell you different. And Grant Lankard, looking forward to having you on tomorrow night. Have you been getting jokes telling lessons from Cindy Kepchake? Oh, Cindy is the gold standard of joke telling around here. She really is. She told me her secret, and I used it on the night we interviewed her for Clever Tile Pending, but I also had some great help too. So that was fun. Check. And by the way, I'm glad we brought up Cindy Cap. She has a Kickstarter right now that is in its waning hours. She's got 14 hours to go. She's going to have the last hour or so of it tonight on Pops Van Zandt. Check out the Comic Madness on YouTube. But anyway, she's made her goal of $3,400. She is at $3,668, but we want to get her another $340, let's call it, because this is a great opportunity. You have no idea. If she can get up to 400, she is going to have her very first comic book, Animal Eye #1, an all-ages comic. It is going to be translated into half a dozen different languages. What an opportunity for Cindy. And she'll have to have it relettered and translated, and it's going to cost that extra $400. So please, Nevermorians, Please, please, please. We've got some great projects going right now. You guys are incredible. But we need to support Cindy, because how many times has she mentioned people on here when she's on break? She spends her break from work promoting us, promoting me, promoting you. And this is how the rising tide works. We owe her. We gotta get her to 400. She's got only about 14 hours to do it. So please loosen up your pocketbooks. And it's a great book. I've read it. She showed me a copy of it. I'm a Patreon subscriber of hers, by the way. And you can be too. And please sign up for her newsletter at ckoepp.com. She is awesome. And now's the time we let her know how awesome she is. All right. So there are many levels, and even $1 gets her closer to her goal. So please check it out. And I think, let me see the time signature on that. Okay. And there we go. And there, or I thought I did not put that in. So let's do that right now. But this is the website address. There we go. And if you're watching us on Twitch, this is what we do. The rising tide raises all ships, and this is what we do to promote people. So please check this out. Oh, and I forgot to mention our usual sponsor, Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics. Things are hectic this morning. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers, and that's what will make them a fan when they see that great cover by Jeffrey Hayes that you've got going. So please check that out. So anyway, here is the address for the Animal Eye All Ages Gamelit book. And Gamelit just means that it is based, it is kind of like a game. You know, it's like, in this case, it's a video game, and it's told from the point of view of the players who have become animals inside the game. It's a really fun thing, and you get an opportunity to not only get this wonderful comic in ebook and in physical form, but you also get a whole bunch of great rewards at the upper levels, and you can also score a copy of the book it's based on. Okay, so please check it out. And here we go. All right, and Christian Illusion Shake Lindsay, which plants grow well on Halloween? Bamboo. So there we go. Hey, good morning, Carly. Mwah, glad to have you here. Hope your morning's going well. Michaela J says, thanks, Carl. I promise I'm taking breaks and staying hydrated. Good. And Carl Wisman is thinking the same as I am. Good, Michaela. Please take care of yourself. This world needs you. And Joe Dog McKeel, good morning, sir. Loved Armchair Rocket Science over the weekend. That was great watching that launch. Howdy, everyone. Head to grab breakfast, back in 5 minutes. Hey, you feed yourself well, sir. You've earned it. And check out TED Talks this week. Dan Hollifield was kind enough to agree to be interviewed. It's recorded, so be warned. It's a lot of info on Dan the Man. Tune in at 10 a.m. Eastern Tuesday morning. Dan Hollifield is part of the Rising Tide Network. He is part of Stupid O'Clock on Thursdays and Saturdays, and he's also, not only that, he is also a prolific science fiction writer, has been for decades. He knows Larry Niven personally, and he also is a great musician. It's kind of funny because I had made a comment about a time I almost electrocuted myself in high school. No, I was like this before, so can't blame it on that. But I almost electrocuted myself, and I talked about my classmates caught me doing the 10,000 volt boogie, and he turned that into it inspired him to make a song, and it's like, OMG. I have never had a song written about anything I've said before, and it was a great song. I played it for my wife Cookie, and she's like, OMG, you've got some talented friends. And I'm like, I do. Anyway, let's keep going. And Christian loses Jake Lindsay. Where do ghosts like to travel on vacation? Well, of course, the Dead Sea. And why did the Headless Horseman get a job? He was trying to get ahead in life. And Christian, if you're watching, shut up. Don't add to that. Please don't add to that. And how do vampires get around on Halloween? On blood vessels. There we go. And Grant Lankert, I have a quick question, not just for you, but for the people in the chat as well. An informal survey, if you'll indulge me. I will indulge you, sir. I am all about indulgence, especially that of the self. Anyway, Joe Dog McKeel is back. I knew he would not miss me. I did. My life was an empty pit of despair, but now you're back. Oh, thank you, Joe Dog. Anyway, Joe Dog's back. Anyway, that doesn't mean anyone has to behave. Check out Stupid O'Clock on Thursdays and Saturdays. He's awesome. And would you prefer I finish Beowulf as a 6-issue series like I originally proposed, or I could release it as a 4-issue series with issues 3 and 4 being double sized? My opinion, if you make, well, that's an excellent question. I want to hear what everyone else says. My opinion is do what your heart tells you. I'd like to find out why you're thinking this. I really would. Are you rushing? Are you trying to hurry up so you can get to the trade paperback reprint stage, or are you telling stories in those issues that deserve more space? Now, if those are continued stories, I'd say yeah, definitely release them as larger editions. Or if you want to move on to other projects, I would say yeah, then go ahead. But otherwise, and I get it. Crowdfunding is a pain. We can talk about Grant, please bring this up tomorrow night. We can also poll the clever title pending people too. But anyway, Brian Hawkins, good morning. The man who is his name is on everyone's lips, especially on Thursday nights. Greetings, programs. Brian Hawkins, it's a pleasure to have you here as always, sir. Hope your morning's going well. And Carl Witzman says, whatever is easier on you, Grant. I agree. And here's a man I adore in a manly sort of way, Ryan Permison. Ryan, that was fantastic on Saturday. We had a great time on, and I quote, last Saturday. Please check it out. And of course, some blabbermouth made the show run long. So anyway, good morning, Nevermorians. How are you? I am doing well. I'm glad to hear that, Ryan. I always am glad you're doing well. And I had a great time the other on Saturday, and I think everyone should watch it. I know you're going to promote it. Joe Dog McHale says the other day I had this plan, and the next thing I knew, I was walking the dog and chewing gum. Doc says the scar should show some character. There you go. And remember, behind every scar is a story. So, and people are wondering, how many scars do you have, Brian? I have plenty, and most of them are emotional. And Teresa Dunn says, over half a book finished and still going. Book number 3 of Poetry Expressions will be finished before you know it. That is excellent. That is very, very cool. And Ryan Permison says, check out the latest episode of the podcast, Talking Movies, the 100th episode of the Nerdcast. Check that out on Anchor FM. Always a great time. Ryan is an amazing broadcaster and so organized. I really like that. And my man, Glenn B. Fleming, how the devil are you? Dude, I am astounded and grateful that you are here, sir. I am glad to see you as always, Glenn. Love you, brother. And working on loads of things I can't tell you about yet. Meanwhile, back on Amazon, check out the work of Glenn B. Fleming. Glenn is a prolific writer, and he does not only great comic books, he's an incredible illustrator, and he's written stuff dealing with Easter Island, with the Kennedy assassination, his travels, his time spent with the king of comics himself, Jack Kirby. And to boot, he's also one of the nicest human beings on this planet. He really is, and he's a joy. It always makes my heart beat glad to see you here, Glenn, and I hope you're having a great day so far, my brother. It always makes me happy to see Willow Schuyler. Mwah. Good morning, everyone. Willow, thank you for your ongoing support of the show, and also please check out on the Hanging with Web Show Network. Check out Willow. She has an amazing interview show called Willow's Pillow Talk. So if she invites you, get on the pillow with Willow. Anyway, love you, Willow, and love that thing you did on your eye makeup the other day. That was interesting. And the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. You want me to check out Michaela before she goes to work? Like a library book, I'm telling you, Christian. And Willow, Carl. And notice how I've assigned Carl his high-pitched voice when actually it's one of the greatest voices in this broadcast network. Anyway, it's the old like the old Nichols and Mays routine, John, Marsha. Anyway, Ryan Permison, ICYMI. Check out the latest episode of, and I quote, with special guest Brian K. Morris. And I had a great time on that show. And I think we got a lot of good information out there. Please check it out. Ryan is an amazing broadcaster, and I am looking forward to coming back. I really am. And Ryan's going, that's nice. Anyway, and in case you missed it, check out the latest episode of Battle of the Nerds, where the topic is summer blockbuster trivia. That's where nerds get in the battle dome, and they fight for nerd supremacy. It is always awesome. And Brian Hawkins says, Brian, a role model. God help us all. That was my first thought too. I am no one's role model. I am telling you that right now, and I'm the first to admit it. Carl Wisman says, I bought a book on Barnes & Noble and thought it looked familiar. Turns out it was a ripoff of another book that I had bought by a Nook. Word for word infringement, even the author's photo. Really? Wow. Oh, and I reported it and wrote a bad review too. Good for you, sir. Definitely. We've got to get rid of the black hat players in this game. We really do. That was a huge problem when I first went freelance full time back in 2012. Amazon had just done a purge of people who were like taking an Anne McCaffrey book, doing an OCR on it, and then putting it out usually under their name. You know, it's like, oh, gee, he thought of the Dragon Riders of Pern too. How cool. But anyway, they had like dozens and dozens of people who were ripping off people, like or they might rewrite the first page and then everything after that was somebody else's content. There have been some black hat players in the game. Now, here's the thing. When you try to game Amazon, I'm telling you, people, don't do it. One, it's not the right thing to do. It's a crappy thing to do. One, you're hurting an original author. Two, you're taking credit and money that is not yours to take. And three, and this is the part I love, Amazon will ban you from Amazon forever. I'm not talking about, oh, they're going to just take my book down and I'll just find another way on there. No, they're going to ban you from the platform. Can you imagine how angry Amazon has to be to not let you give them money? Ponder that for a second. They don't want a bad guy's money. Don't be a bad guy. Be rising tide, all right? And Ryan Permison says, subscribe to that channel, the Nerd Culture channel on YouTube, for great nerdy content. I'll vouch for the nerdy content. Being a nerd myself, that is great stuff. Thank you, Ryan. I hope you're having a great Monday. And Willow Skyler says, I'm being called out for being a bully by a friend from high school. How long until she rage quits on our newfound friendship? Now taking bets. Oh, are you poking the poor lemmings as they run towards the anti-vaxxer cliff again? I did see the post you made just this weekend. I was greatly gratified. Seriously, you talk about we ought to get something together and pool our, we ought to pool our resources and poke the bear. That could be our a channel. You, me, Carl, Skunk, Joe Dog, all the greater cynics of this page, and just put the stuff on that will annoy the the various tin hat factions. Not just the anti vaxxers, the anti-COVID people. Well, I'm anti-COVID, but as you may have guessed by now, but also the like the First Amendment frauditors or auditors, as they call themselves, or sovereign citizens and stuff. There's coin to be made, Willow. We could make out. I should do it myself if nothing else. And some are reading for Ryan Permison. Let's fill this boy up and with books. And he loves paperbacks. So if you've got a paperback, please send him a link to your book. We talked about this the other day after the show, and Ryan's got a bunch of stuff that he is going to order and read and enjoy. So please, let's broaden this guy's horizons. Seriously. He is a terrific fellow. He really is. I'm not saying that just because he's here. And thank you to Brian K. Morris for being the Mr. Rogers of the internet. You are a genuine and supportive person, kind sir. God bless you. God bless you, Brian. You're part of the mission too, man. You, Willow, Carl, Ted, Michaela, the whole lot of you. If you're doing something nice for somebody else without expecting anything, the most you can expect is a thank you. And even if you do it and no one ever finds out, you're rising tide, okay? And the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS says, pardon me, they don't cough, but they do say, everyone at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS wants to thank everyone who helped get our view hours up. Although we didn't hit our goal of having less than 1,000 left, we are so close. Thanks to everyone. 1,000 hours left. Well, very cool. That is pretty close, brother. That is very close indeed. So please check out The Legend of Traveling TARDIS every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. It's always a good show, seriously. Christian Basil, all kidding aside, Christian Basil and his co-host, actually she's the real host, Melanie Dean, put on a terrific show every week. It is steeped in Doctor Who lore and always entertaining and always well run on the Hanging Web Show Network. So please check it out. We have adopted him, though, here at the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And Joe Dog McKeel says, to all my metaphysical friends who just did that, stop, it tickles. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Will Schuyler says, tune in to Will's Pillow Talk. Tonight I will be chatting with the nebulizer himself, Brian Rodman. Brian, I hope you're feeling better. Brian has had a... Anyway, I will try to be there. Will, that sounds like a good show. You know, you... And the bonus is that you're having Brian, too. But no, Brian's a fun guy. And if you want to check out what he does, check out Comic Book Spectrum on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to start broadcasting out on Twitch too. And we look forward to all of your comments. Please leave if you're new to the show on Twitch, you probably figured out the format already. Please leave a comment for us. And if it's suitable, we will read it on the air. We'll have a conversation. And Christian Illusionist Jake Lindsay says, I love the song Fires at Midnight and Inside the Crystal Ball by Blackmore's Night. They're amazing live. They really are. And that, I believe the lady that's singing is actually Richie Blackmore's wife. She's crazy talented too. And Christian, is that cumulative or is there a time limit? I think it's cumulative within a time limit. I don't remember whether it's in a month or a quarter. But anyway, I'm so far from it, I don't worry about it. Legend of Traveling TARDIS says, Carl Wisman is cumulative. We almost hit 3,000, like 50 hours left, leaving about 1,000 watch hours left. I will get on that too, Christian. I've got you on, I believe I've got you as one of my links on my YouTube page. And I was trying to get somebody else's hours going this week. So anyway, we'll get to you, sir. We'll get to you. Angie Watson-Dudas, glad to see you. Mwah. And good morning, everyone watching before work while drinking coffee. Also sharing Grant's Kickstarter right there. And I forgot to call. Oh, no, I didn't forget to call that up. I've got like tabs on my favorite Kickstarter campaigns. I will have to refresh that. And this is an older laptop. So we are... we are refreshing it. Yes, and also one thing to let you know we're doing here in the next few weeks, we may be, it was suggested, I believe it was by Brian Rodman, the aforementioned Mr. Rodman, about a possible crowdfunding campaign for myself, not for any of my books though, possibly for this broadcast. We have plans for what we would like to do to make the show look and sound better. And it's going to be a little more than, than our current Patreon level can sustain. And we are not monetized yet on Facebook, or not Facebook. Well, Facebook can monetize a broadcast. We have no idea because they keep changing how you do it. And well, we don't care. And YouTube, we're about halfway to monetization as far as subscribers go, although that's not the real thing. I think we've got the hours for monetization. We just don't have the subscribers yet. So please share this video and encourage your friends to subscribe. We were at 507 last night, which is halfway. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed in the last year. A year ago, I was barely double digits, but thanks to all of you, I am halfway to being monetized on YouTube. And I'm not looking at so I can buy a new car or I can buy, that Action Comics #1 I've always craved. I am doing it simply because it will be plowed back into the show and we can do cooler stuff and maybe more of it. So please check us out. And also please check out Grant Lankard's Beowulf. And Grant, after you do, Grant will be on Clever Title Pending tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. And you can ask him all about the thing, all right? He will answer your questions. And also the Rising Tide Publications page is also throwing some love to Cindy Kep for her book, Animal Eye. Please, let's get that book moving. She's got 66 backers, 3668 going. She's made her goal. You are backing a book that will come out. Okay. That's all there is to it. But you can also get some cool stuff with it, like stuffed animals and dragons and all kinds of critter. Great art from Roel Cruz, her illustrator. And you'll be thrilled. Trust me. Please go to that. All right. And let's see. Oh, and Willow Skylar Skunk. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. We had a comment dump again, just as I was going for something else. Anyway, let's see. Here we go. Oh man, we had a huge comment. The Skunkrocker says, I'm curious why Brian wants me to lie to him, but I like to appease people. Why, by telling me I'm a nice guy, telling me I'm wonderful, telling me I'm a USA Today bestseller? What? How? I don't want you to lie to me. I want the truth. Oh, lie to me and tell me there's no more coffee coming. I'm telling you. Anyway, Keisha Acuff, hello, beautiful people. Can't stay long today. Have a good day. Mwah, Keisha. Enjoy your hiatus, and I will get to your video this weekend. This weekend was a bit of a fustercluck, but anyway, we were busy, but a lot of good things are coming out of it. Had a great meeting yesterday with somebody that he's got some video projects going that I'm and I'm excited, not just for my participation in them, but a great series of videos that are coming up. So please, we will have more information when the time comes. Joe Dog McKeel says, I'm trying to experiment. Brian, check your watch hours since Thursday. Dude, I've been doing the same. If you're saying what I'm thinking, I've been doing the same thing for you. So anyway, we'll talk. And thank you in advance, Joe. And sorry, Joe Dog, I was meaning that for my husband. Wrong, Joe. Oh, now I gotta scroll back and find out what she said. And Scott Barker says, yes, my morning is going excellent. Ignore the method behind the curtain. Okay, yeah, I get it, Skunk. But Skunk, know that you carry the love of the Nevermorians with you, if that helps at the very least. And know that we are glad you're here and that you're having an adequate morning, if nothing else. And Will Skylar, it was you. You can do it again. Woohoo! Says Joe Dog. I want in on this. And Scott Crocker says, I do want to point out I'm not having a bad morning, rather a very annoying one. So it's not a good morning, but I'm not in dire straits like I usually am. So will that suffice? That'll do for now, Skunk. And knowing you're not having a miserable morning, knowing that by now you've probably got food in you, and I hope it was yummy, and I hope your day ends well. All right. And you look forward to a really relaxing evening with people you like and doing things you love to do. All right. How's that, Skunk? And good morning from our darling Amy Hill, the author of Neuroses. Check that book out. It is good. I'm reading it. And she is an amazing author and broadcaster. Check her out on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. on Creative as Hail with her husband, John, as they interview a great interview the other night with Santiago Cirillo, who is an actor and activist and author, and she is amazing. And speaking of amazing, there he is, rising from his nebulizer AI suit, Mr. Brian Rodman. Good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. I am back. The air has been forced back into my lungs, whether it wants to be there or not. I am steroid man right now. So Willow's Pillow Talk with me and Willow Skylar tonight should be extra fun. Yes. Hopefully Brian will be able to take a full breath tonight. Poor Brian, please send some love and some energy and prayers to Brian Rodman. In all seriousness, since Thursday, Brian has had, excuse me, now I need it. Brian has had some severe asthma attacks, and for one thing, it prevented him from doing Comic Book Spectrum on Thursday. And again, continual and eternal thanks to Joe D. McPhee from the Decimal Small Press Publisher for pinch hitting on that. And now I'm beginning to think we may have to find a fifth chair at the table, if you know what I mean. That Joe D had a good enough time that he says he wants back, and he wants back fast. So anyway, I'll just drop out. There we go. That'll help things along. And anyway, yes, so I'm looking forward to Willow's Pillow Talk tonight with the amazing Brian Rodman, who, by the way, he's got a Kickstarter going. I think he's going to mention it. But he has made his goal of $2,000. In fact, he's at 75 backers with 18 days to go, but let's not ignore this young man too. It's a great story, and he'll have more on it. And there is another gentleman from Comic Book Spectrum, one of my favorite shows. Good morning, peoples. Good morning to you, Eric S. Hawkins. Hope you're doing well this morning. And Skunkcracker says, I'm a graphic novel sort of guy, Grant. So if I'm reading a beginning to end story, I want it all in one book. I'm just impatient, and I like to binge and watch stuff. I do too. That's why I like Hoopla, in that I can check out they have a lot of comic books on there, mostly in trade paperback form. And so if I want to read like half a year's worth of Justice League Dark, I can do that thing. Or if I want to read like an individual issue of Archie, I can do that. Some of the Archie issues are individual on there. I'm currently reading Berserker by Keanu Reeves and The Last Ronin by Kevin Eastman. In individual form, mostly because they haven't put out a trade paperback yet, but been enjoying them a lot. Also, I want to recommend, there was the most recent Suicide Squad from DC Comics, written by Tom Taylor, who's an amazing author, and drawn by mostly by Bruno Redondo. That's it. And I wonder if he's related to Nestor Redondo. I need to check that out. He was a great one of the finest Filipino artists ever in the history of comics. And also Daniel Sampier, who's currently drawing Superman, I believe it is, or Action, one of the two. Terrific art, great stories. Dialogue is laugh out loud funny in places. Great stuff. But yeah, I'm the same way. But it's kind of fun to sit there and just read the whole damn half year or year's worth of stories in one sitting. It's that's my thrill these days. I don't binge watch TV anymore, so unless it's like I buy a DVD or something. Anyway, Grant Lankert says, regarding the question asked about two double-sized issues versus 4 regular comics, it's not to rush the comic books. It will take about the same amount of time. Well, that's something to consider. If it's going to take the same amount of time, one thing, Beowulf 2 came out pretty much on the heels of Beowulf 1. Be thinking about what you can do if you go the longer route, which I kind of dig, actually. I kind of dig, and I'm seeing a lot more. For a while, there was a trend of people saying, like, well, I've got a 12-page comic book. It's a full comic book. I just said it is. 12 pages is a short story, people. Anyway, and now the trend is to do like Eric Hawkins. His last couple issues have been like 40 pages or so. Give more comic book. What are you going to do, Grant, to sustain the fervor between issues 2 and 3 and then 3 and 4, if it's going to take the same amount of production time? Or can you find a way to speed up the process somehow? That's something to think about. And Will Schuyler says, Joe Dog, you'll enjoy this next move. Just be warned, you may not want to move out of that chair for the next hour. Ooh, this is getting good. Oh, man, you bring the garters, I'll bring the trapeze. Anyway, over at the Nebulizer, says Brian Rahman, we are getting closer to both of our goals, our stretch goal of 3,000 and our backer goal of 100 backers. Help us reach both of them and unlock the Nebulizer magnet and the add-on neon inhaler beanie. So head on over to the Nebulizer and find out why it ain't easy being wheezy. So check it out. Yeah. I am backing that project. I am backing Animal Eye, and please check it out. And I've got a couple more I've got to get on to. But anyway, please check it out. This is one of our own here, okay? And Skunkcracker says, true story, when the latest season of Stranger Things came out, I told myself to watch one episode a week and stretch it out so that I can enjoy it longer, and I binged the entire series in a day. Oh, I've done that with like Fawley Towers. It's like get the whole thing in there and just start laughing. That's one of those series doesn't get old with me. I love it. And legit, says Skunkcracker, I have no self-control. I have to read or watch the entire thing in one go, and I hate cliffhangers. I like cliffhangers just long enough to go to the bathroom, get another drink, and then come back and watch the next episode. And from the artwork of Bill Sartin on Facebook, glad to have you here, Bill. Merry Monday morning to the fantastic Frazzle, Fezzy, Fezman, and all the marvelous manic Monday Morians. Count your blessings and thank God for them. Well, thank God you're here to remind us, Bill. I hope you're having a great morning so far. Grant Lankard, apparently I rushed into the second Kickstarter from talking to people who backed 1 but aren't backing issue 2. They're saying that they didn't have time to read issue 1. That's on them, Grant. That's not on you. Like for instance, when I get a new book in from Kickstarter, I sit down, I read that thing. So that's not. I don't think that's on you. I really don't. I know if anyone disagrees with me, please chime in. I would love to hear your comments. But I don't think that's your responsibility to get them to read it when they get it. They backed it. They supported it. There was obviously something in there they wanted to see. And if they've got other priorities, that's fine. But, that's not your... I don't see that as being your problem, to be honest. So, anyway. And the artwork of Bill Sartin says, hashtag bring Cookie home so you know it's true. That's what we're working on every day, brother. We want to bring her back too. And that's just me, though, says Skunk Rocker Grant. Don't take that as the gospel of the entire chat. I'm sure people here love cliffhangers and collecting multiple issues of stuff. Yeah. I'd say so. It's a very individualistic thing. Now, these days I prefer trade paperbacks to individual issues. But I do that more for more mainstream comics than I do the independent press, because a lot of times in the independent press you don't know if there's going to be an issue 2, you know. But yeah, and I'm getting a little pickier about my Kickstarter supports too. You have to be. There's so many good ones out there. So anyway, who scared you more in Pirates of the Caribbean, Blackbeard, Davy Jones, or Barbossa? No, it was that guy from the British version of The Office that had like a knife or something stuck in his wooden eye, and seeing that thing around, that kind of creeped me out. Carl Weston says, thanks for the compliment on my voice. No imposter syndrome here. Oh, well, really, you have a terrific voice. I'd love to see, I know it's an intrusion on your retirement. I'd love to see you come up with a show for the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. I really would. And, you did a great job on Nevermind the Furthermore. If you ever wanted to do, another morning or two of that, I would so let you. Brian Rodman, if you're not on my Patreon, and now is the time to jump over there, I'm about to drop some serious news over there and some content that will only be on Patreon for quite a while. So head on over to patreon.com/Brian Rodman and treat yourself. Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of people who are on Patreon, and one of the things you can get are advanced sneak peeks. Like a lot of the people that support me, well, you know what? They have their own, and they're awesome. So please support them too. The Eric Hawkins. Now I've got to write like porn sack and stuff in front of Eric's name. I just realized. But anyway, no. Oh, by the way, I picked up a story. I'll have to talk about it maybe on Thursday. But we had a writer that Eric Hawkins reviewed, and his first name is legit porn sack. But it turns out it means something really nice, like exalted, wise advisor or something like that. Really cool. And I read this story and I actually enjoyed it. But we may be talking about it Thursday. So anyway, check out Brian Rodman's Patreon campaign. Or his Patreon page. I am a subscriber. But please check it out. And also please go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris and check out what I do. And anyway, against my better judgment, here is the legend of the traveling TARDIS. And let me get back there. All right. And speaking of unbearable jock itch, arise, Monday Morris monster, arise. The stench of $1 store talcum powder weighs heavy in the fields of doubt and swiftly on and bring us to the weekend. I'm doing my part, brother. I'll get you there a couple hours at a time. How's that? And Christian Illusionist Jake Lindsay, here's an interesting fact. The Ark of the Covenant scene in Indiana Jones was real. In real life, one person opened it and killed 50,000 men. Those guys were Union, dude. That's going to get Spielberg in trouble. I don't care how big he is. And Comics Talk with Positive and Sand, I've seen 2 Indiegogo campaigns copied and pasted on Kickstarter. Kickstarter needs to research better. The thing is, I think you can. Kickstarter can't. It's like Facebook. It's like YouTube. There's too many people on there. Like YouTube, for instance. We have to police ourselves because YouTube gets something like 400 new videos every minute. All right. There's just not enough people to keep up with it. And that's why they have to use the badly programmed bots like Facebook does. Um, so when something like that happens, you need to write to Facebook or to Kickstarter and let them know. I know you can't unless they're ripping you off directly. You can't write them directly and say, okay, here, I'm writing you from this account. You got to do something about it. Only the IP owner can do that. The way it's set up right now. But I send a separate. I've turned people in. And I send it via, Kickstarter itself. So there is a way, but if only 2 Indiegogo campaigns were copied and pasted on Kickstarter, that's not bad considering how many there are. Willow Skylar is my hero right now, says Brian Rodman. By the way, those debunking videos are wonderful. Keep it up, my friend. I love those too. I love how she's poking all these stupid people. I really do. It makes me happy. I have laughed out loud at them. And Scott Cracker says, yeah, when I find some free time, I'm going to end up finishing that one script I was working on. Oh, good. And then eventually start working on that other project that I came up with a good idea for. I'm looking forward to it. Really, Skunk, I am. I'm encouraging you as best I can. And from the desk of the small press publisher, Joe D. McPhee. And by the way, enjoyed Saturday night. Sorry if I dominated the questions. Anyway, it was a great talk with Luke Stone of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. Issue 7 is currently being funded right now. And morning all, I made it start of a long day on the 9 to 5 with a lot out of sorts, but I'm here watching. Well, Joe, we're always glad to have you here, brother. And by the way, again, I cannot compliment you enough. I went back and rewatched Thursday's clever title, or not clever title, I'm getting my shows mixed up, Comic Book Spectrum. Where we all talked about Brian Hawkins. But anyway, no, it was a fantastic show, and you were fantastic in it. Believe it, you're coming back before 15 issues, even if I have to set one out. And Scott Cracker says, I don't know yet if I want to do it as a novel or trade paperback. The reason I say that is because I'm very visual. That's an asset, buddy. That's an asset. And I doubt I can really express what I mean without drawings. No. The thing is, this is something a lot of people don't realize. The smart ones do. The Glenn Flemings, the Grant Lankards, the Brian Rodmans, the Eric Hawkins do. The picture has to, in comic book or graphic novels, the picture has to carry at least 50% of the storytelling weight. There's an old saw in prose writing: don't tell, show, don't tell. This, that. Let the camera, the movie screen of the mind work for you. That's why people like Jack Kirby were so amazing. And Jim Shooter, the former editor-in-chief at Marvel and Valiant Comics, did a terrific series of blogs about 10 years ago on the genius of someone like Jack Kirby. And he took one story and showed how Jack was doing so many things with his art, but it was mainly carrying the visual excitement, keeping it from being talking heads. John Buscema had also a similar talent, but and John Romita Sr., you can follow the art and know what the basic story is. Now, the words give nuance. So, you might see panel 1, Reed Richards and Ben are talking as Reed is adjusting a machine standing next to the portal of the negative zone. And then panel 2, you see the Hulk, shaking his fist in Reed's face as Reed stretches out of the way. And you needed Stan Lee's dialogue to tell you why they were there. You needed Stan Lee's dialogue to set up their relationship as best friends. And then you needed the dialogue to tell why Ben was angry. What was the challenge? What was the impediment? What was the insult? And, Kirby and Lee, a lot of people, and Glenn Fleming, please chime in if you're listening. that one of the, you see certain teams that work there, like Chris Claremont and John Byrne, or Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum, where that's the type of storytelling where the artist provides the the visual narrative that allows you, like an old silent film, where you can see the people, you see the emotions, you see the body language, and also the art can also carry you from one panel to another, changing angles, going from close up to long shot, from going to worm's eye view to bird's eye view, like a film director. But it's the words that provide nuance. Okay. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of moving parts to comics that a lot of people don't realize. Anyway, this is because I'm terrible at writing, says Skunk Rocker. Skunk, then maybe consider, and I'm not saying I'm applying for the job, but find a writer you trust, and somebody who's on the same page as you are, and see if somebody could do your dialogue for you or your captions and such. Because again, like with the Marvel style of writing, that's, a lot of artists would plot out their own. Kirby, for instance, his last couple of years at Marvel, it's kind of again, Glenn B. Fleming, please correct me, but Kirby was doing a lot of the plotting on his books, like Fantastic Four and Thor, and sometimes Captain America. My understanding is his brief run of Captain America, when he got his own comic book with issue 100, that was mostly Kirby stories, that he came up with the basic idea. Stan might say, okay, I want a book with the Red Skull. And then there was one origin story that was inserted in 112 in the middle of the Jim Steranko run, where basically my understanding is Stan called Jack and said, listen, I need a story like over the weekend. Can you do it? And only someone like Kirby could do it, because he was that fast and that good. And he basically plotted out the story, sent it to Stan with notes in the margins, and Stan dialogued it. So anyway, it's going to reach out to me if you need help with this. I can probably give you some guidance. Anyway, Willis Schuyler says, I'll try not to set off Brian's asthma. I'll stay away from the low-cut shirts for tonight. I say take the risk, Willow. I'm willing to be your guinea pig. I will throw myself on that hand grenade. So send me pictures if you would, please. Anyway, Christian Illusionist, Jake Lindsay. Yep, that's his wife. I do believe you have a favorite song from Blackmore's Night. I don't really have a favorite. I have a few from his Rainbow Days. That's also a really good, really good group. I think I like the Graham Bonnet era the best. Graham Bonnet has an amazing voice, still has an amazing voice even after all these years, and he did songs like Since You've Been Gone, and All Night Long. Now the guy that followed him was really good too, and of course his predecessor was Ronnie James Dio, who also had a terrific voice. Anyway, from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, speaking of Nebulizer, the bearded Brian will be on from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher this Saturday. Well, I may have to come by and put my 2 cents in again. And Brian, and there's Jody McPhee going, oh God, not again. Why do I keep telling him it's on? And the artwork of Bill Sartin says, the bird's the word. When you get Cindy Kep's nice and nifty newsletter, and it's really something to tweet about. It really is. It comes out around the 25th of the month, and he is, or rather she, I was looking at the next comment, sorry. And Cindy Kep is an amazing wordsmith, and her newsletter, I'd say, is thought-provoking without being getting you up in anger or anything. It's very philosophical and really gets you to thinking in a good way. So I definitely recommend her newsletter. I'm a subscriber and I love it. I like her newsletter better than mine, and I'm trying my best. And we love you, Angie. You better love her. She is an awesome asset to you, Grant Lankard. She really is. We couldn't get along in this business as well without our Angie's and our Robins and our Cookies. So yeah, definitely. And Brian Rodman says, oh, I'm so excited about helping with a Rising Tide Kickstarter. I will bring any skills I can to the table, my friend. Let's do this. Well, I want to figure out first how much I will need. And then I'm wondering if one platform, if Kickstarter is the platform to do. And there will be no imposter syndrome on this one. And the problem is part of the equipment. I do want to get at least 2 computers to do this, because Cookie will be doing some work with me on this. And I also want to hire Jeremy Woodring for some stuff too. and we'll get going on there. But yeah, I've got a whole lot of stuff that I want to get. I need to make my shopping list is what it is. So anyway, we just had another comment dump. Let's get back to your comments here. I'm going to try to catch up. I realize I'm so far behind. I apologize to everyone who's being so patient. And Skunk, try writing out the story first, says Willow Skylar. Then you can send your ideas to any of the great artists in our community. It would be great to see either. Yeah, seriously. And like I said, if you get a good artist, there is something called plot first, or as it used to be called, Marvel style. And this is how Jack Kirby, John Buscema, John Romita worked, along with some of the other great writers like Stan Lee, Roy Thomas, Gary Friedrich, etc. And it's basically you come up with the plot, and you can actually tell what is going on the page if you want to be so detailed. It depends on the artist you select. But you need a strong visual storyteller. And somebody who's, like I said, in lockstep with you on the goal of your story. Now, I don't know any artists personally who work like that, but that is an option. That is an option. And I think it takes a really strong plotter to be able to do that. So anyway, Michaela J says, I could use some more subs. I'm close, so close to 500. What were you thinking? You know what I was thinking, sweetheart. And I don't think you need the subs, but you need subscriptions. But anyway... Yes, we're going there. Anyway, but I can use them. Never mind. Anyway, but no, check out Michaela Jade's YouTube channel. She has a lot of great content, and she is doing a daily show now where she talks to you and gives you some motivation before you start the workday. And I'm loving it. I seriously am. So please check it out. And check her out. And on Friday night, she's got an incredible show called Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles, where she applies some of her philosophy to how you can level up your creative game. And I gotta say, I'm not saying this because she's here, but I'm proud as hell of her. I really am. When we first met, she was having some challenges as an author with a bad publisher, etc. And she figured out her own way out. She did. She got free of them. And now she's plotting her own course, and she is so much fun. You got to go to a show and meet her. She really is amazing, and I love hanging out with her. And that's one of the best parts of being in this Rising Tide thing, that we get to hang out with each other at shows. It was so much fun. And thank you again for having Cookie and me over to your place. It really was a great time. And Rick Riley, good morning, Nevermorians. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well this morning, Rick. And we're invoking you on Ryan Permison's show on Saturday as a positive example, believe it or not, Rick. And yes, it hurts when my nose grows. But anyway, from the National Small Press Publisher, get a backpack from Cindy's campaign. Yes, one of her reward levels is an actual backpack. So please go to her Kickstarter page and please check it out. Please support her. She's got about 13 hours left. And if you're watching this live, if you're watching us later today, please check it out. Please follow Cindy Cap. Please go to ckoepp.com and check out her works. She's got a bunch of stuff on Amazon, and she's a great writer too. I am surrounded by great writers. I am such a hack compared to them. And Skunk says, Grant Lankard, I've thought about that idea you had about the sitcom set in the post-apocalyptic multiple times. I think you should see if you can write that out. Yeah, seriously. Get those ideas on paper, Skunk, and then a writer, not to diss you, Skunk, but a writer could help you organize them. Skunk, I suggest starting out small. Contributing to an anthology can be a good way to get experience and build a fan base. Yeah, definitely. That's what I did when I started my prose career, and I'm doing it, still with my comic book stuff and my prose. I'm currently working on something for an anthology. Because I can get short stories out fast, and it's kind of fun to do a quick run on a character and then move on. But yeah, definitely. And maybe I can hook you up with somebody, Skunk. Really get some experience, and because you can always put that on your resume. And a lot of us do things for free or very little pay. Now, don't pay to have it done unless you're hiring someone to work with you, because many artists will. They can get paying gigs. So you could pay somebody, Skunk, to do your art for you, and then run a crowdfunding campaign to reimburse yourself for that expense. So anyway, Joe Dog McHale says, okay, back, damn cat, unplug the router. And I censored that. Yeah, I bet you had to. And just remind him that we still make violins, okay? And Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt. Smash the like, share the stream. Thank you, Pops Van Zandt. Also check out Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt. Not only as YouTube, and you need to subscribe to that also because Pops is an awesome guy. And anyway, those 2 dates he listed earlier were CromCon, okay? If I'm guessing correctly. Anyway, because I don't have I do have a calendar near me. Well, it's not a standard calendar, so I can't tell. Anyway, is it 25th? Yeah, it's a Friday. Or what's that? It's Saturday and Sunday. June 26th and 27th will be CromCon 15. So check out what this man does. Also support his Patreon. He's just got a freshly minted Patreon page. Check him out. Also, he has a tip jar on paypal.me. So you can support the mission of CromCon and Pops Van Zandt in bringing the best of independent writers and artists to you. All right. And Christian Illusionist Jake Lindsay, here's a hard question. Which would you rather date, a girl vampire or a girl werewolf? Keep it PG, Christian. The vampire girl for sure, because it's nice. Then again, I hear that werewolf girl can be quite the animal. Anyway, welcome back, Joe Dog. Yeah, seriously, thank you, Will Scott. Glad you're back, Joe. And hey, Brian, sometime soon we should do a clever title pending together about your using your personal trials to fuel your creative works. Send me a PM. I've got some open dates. All right. And that's a good idea. And Grant Lankert says, that's a good question, Christian. I would say that I would date a female vampire because I'm not a big fan of furry women. He meant nothing by that, Skunk. Okay, and Skunk Rocker says, Jake, I'm a furry. What do you think? Some people say amore. Oh, yeah. When the moon's in the sky like a big pizza pie. That's amore. Oh, yeah. And Joe Dog McKeel did again, this time killing a project. 20 hours gone. Oh dear. Oh, Joe, that hurts. Hope you can get it back. Seriously. And the Skunk Rocker says, I say, Werewolves of London. Oh, yeah. The little lady got mutilated last night. Werewolves of London again. And sorry, Jake, I don't mean to call you Christian. It sounded like a Christian style question. Okay. See, Christian's vile influences influence this program so much. And maybe not for the better. And read Berserker, that's a stretch. There's only like 7 words between the 2 issues. That's true, Eric. I'm not saying it gets my lips real tired. It's Berserker is a title from was it Boom? I think it is Boom Comics, and it's a very well done comic. Love the Ron Garney art. I'm really enjoying that a lot. Kind of a stretch for him. It's kind of nice to see him inking his own pencils for once. But let's just say that there's just Matt Kind is basically wearing a mask and riding a horse if he's taking a paycheck for his dialogue. And sound effects. Where are the damn sound effects, right? I'm telling you. But anyway, but check it out. It is a good comic book, but definitely check out Comic Book Spectrum every Thursday night, where Eric and Brian and Clyde and sometimes Jody McPhee. Yes, we're having you back, Joe. Dry those tears. You will return. I promise. Anyway, please check out the show on Thursday nights. We have a great time, and we think you'll have a great time too. And especially to our Twitch people, we're going to start broadcasting out on Twitch, so please check us out. And Carlene, Grant, you were right, so don't take it back. Jake's like that, okay? And Mike, Jimmy, Larson DeBruin, good morning, lovelies. Good morning to you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. And here we go. And JJ Chopsticks 11, we don't do that sort of thing on here. So we're not going to put you on the screen. We're not going to buy followers, primes, or viewers. We're going to do it honestly, but thank you just the same. And Willow Schuyler, vampire women are hot. Oh yeah, baby. Vampirella, Vampira from the 50s. And of course the Mistress of the Night. Vampire women are hot, but that woman from Ginger Snaps is even hotter. That's a tough call, Jake. Yeah, and I'm thinking of Elvira. When am I not thinking of Elvira? I'm not saying she's hot, but you could cook a pizza on her. And Carl Westman, they didn't have time to read a comic book. What the hell? It's not like War and Peace. Yeah. Am I wrong, Carl? It's like if somebody said, well, I didn't have time to read your other book. No, you make time to do things, you cretin. Hi, honey.
Hiya.
Oh, I like how you're dressed.
It's because I'm not.
Yeah, that's right, folks. I'm getting the view of Cookie that you all wish you had. Oh, especially now. Hi, honey. We've suddenly gone from 0 to Christian Basil in 7 seconds. So
You're welcome.
yeah, thanks, honey. But see, I've been keeping up the garbage in here, and I was going to take that out. I'm not taking it out today though. The trash man's already gone.
That means the can is empty, so you have a place to put it.
I'll give you a place to put it. After all I've done for you today. Love you.
I'm making lunch. I'm making coffee. Do you want coffee?
I love you, honey.
Want to take that statement back from
More
earlier?
more than ever.
Listen,
Yeah, but I got your day started.
I started your day too.
Well, that's true. That's true. And everybody's like, what the hell are those two talking about?
Well, if you have to ask, too bad.
Yeah, that's true. We'll send out the pictures later. That's what the Twitch channel's for. Anyway. And Christian Illusionist Jake Lindsay says, personally, I'd love to date a mermaid. They're cute. Well, that's true. But it depends on what kind of mermaid you get. They all aren't like Ariel, you know. And Rick Bradley says, that's why I'm glad some streaming services are doing weekly episodes, like for WandaVision and The Falcon and Winter Soldier. People were talking about the show every week, and I think it gave people something to look forward to. That's true. That is the one advantage to scheduling a show. Thank you, sweetheart. All right. But anyway, that is one advantage to having a regularly scheduled show. But there was also the, the Netflix model with the Marvel shows where you want to watch Daredevil? Here's Daredevil. You know, you want to watch a season of Luke Cage? Here's Luke Cage. You can binge watch from the start. I could see that. I can see both sides of that. And I would love it if they mixed it up. You know, like let's say, maybe experiment. Maybe next season of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I hope there is, dump it all at once and see what happens, you know? And Grant Lankard says, my philosophy on the trade paperback versus single issue thing, I would rather do single issues than collect them as a trade paperback. Accommodating multiple customers is a good thing. Yeah. The only downside of that is that you can train your audience to wait for the trade. And thank you, sweetie. Oh, she's pouring me coffee. You can't see it, but she is. It's told you. Anyway, thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it. I can finish the show now. I may never catch up, but I can finish the show. But anyway, but no, I personally, for storage reasons, I prefer the trade paperback. Because I'm actually trying to pare down my comic book collection, and whenever possible, if I can get it on Comixology, I will. If I can get it on like a trade paperback, or some I just want to read in Hoopla. I don't necessarily want to own them, but knowing they're there is helpful. But the thing is, there are some people that do still prefer the floppies, and I think you have the right philosophy. Plus, you can use, if you were financing everything yourself, you could take the money from the floppies, and that would help finance your trade paperback if you raise sufficient funds. And there are some people in Kickstarter, I'm pleased to say, who are taking, like, if they ask for, say, let's just throwing figures out. Let's say they know that $2,000 will put their book together. Well, if they raise, like, say, $4,000, that's their cushion to help them to get ahead on the next project. So actually, when they say, okay, issue 3, we're trying to finance issue 3, what they're really doing is paying themselves back for 3, and then using that to do 4. That you kind of, that's something we try to do here at Rising Tide Publications, and that helps pay for the next one. So, but it's good that you've got a plan there, Grant, and going into with a plan is half the battle. And Will Schuyler, Jake, you may want to read up on your siren lore. Mermaids are not the Little Mermaid Disney princess type. One of my friends is Philo Barnhart, who actually was one of the designers on one of the creators of Ariel, the Little Mermaid, and he does a wonderful print where it's I think it's called something like Ariel gets her powers back. And it shows at the bottom of, in the bottom of the sea, dinner with the hubby, and he's drowned. And then there's also Ursula's head on a plate, on a platter, rather. It's and everyone's having sushi. But anyway, Actually, it's funny because Disney has done so much to corrupt the original, like Brothers Grimm stories and such, the old legendary things. Like there are, like Beauty and the Beast is not like the Disney movie after a certain point too. And even Snow White has some things on how the prince revived her and it wasn't with a kiss. Anyway, Eric Hawkins says, speaking of porn sack, Marvel just named their new Filipino Captain America the word for genitalia in Filipino. Idiots don't even know how to use Google. Yeah, I saw there was an article I think on Bleeding Cool about over the weekend and how the writer was trying to rationalize it. It sounded like change the name. Okay, Marvel, from the same company that lettered in, accidentally didn't spell check and put in an insult to the Jewish Jewish people. Let's just say rhymes with like. And I have those issues. I'm holding on to them. The Wolverine, I think it's Wolverine 130, Volume 1. But it's like Comic Craft, and I noticed Comic Craft lost a lot of business with Marvel after that. But somebody should have caught that. Somebody in production should have caught that. Some of Marvel's books have been some of the worst edited as far as copy editing that I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, but yeah, that's that's apparently somebody did not do their research. Well, it's like Coca-Cola. This is back, I think, back in the 70s. There is a reason why in Japan that is only, we call it Coke here in America and in many nations around the world where the stuff is bottled or canned in this case. We call it Coca-Cola or Coke. But in Japan, you'll only see it referred to as Coca-Cola because Coke is the Japanese name for genitalia, male genitalia over there. And many a chuckle was had. Grant Langford says, people also forget if it takes you a year to make a 100-page trade paperback, that's a year that you have zero profit. If you release it as 5 20-page comics, you're making consistent money with any luck. Yeah, Grant, you're right. And are you talking yourself into the floppies now? I think the bottom line, and let's talk about this tomorrow night on the show, but on Clever Tile Pending at 8 p.m. Always promote. This is a good question. I think you need to ask yourself why you're doing this. And the answer, is like having consistent issues despite people that don't read the damn things. That helps keep you in their psyche. I mean, look at somebody like Luke Stone. He's working way ahead on his Hybrids book. So when he ends one campaign and starts fulfillment, he can start the hype for the next campaign. So he's somebody I'd keep an eye on as far as how to run a campaign, along with Eric Hawkins and Brian Rahman. These guys got their stuff together. And Michaela J says, in 12 days, I will be in Deadwood, South Dakota with Wild Deadwood Reads book signing. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm excited for you. That's great. Now, I admit I'm excited too. I am not setting up, but and I don't have the information with me, but there is a pulp convention, a pulp writing convention in one of the Cleveland, Ohio suburbs this weekend. And Charles F. Millhouse will be there. I'm excited to see him and Mary Ann again. It's been, oh gosh, it's been a while. Because, God, I can't remember the last time I saw. It was pre-COVID, I think, but when we last saw each other, because we, of course, Charles and I have been friends for quite a while now. But I remember one time when we went to visit Cookie's parents in Buffalo, New York, we swung down to Ohio. The corner of Ohio where he lives, and we had dinner together. I didn't realize the route because it took us way out of it was worth the diversion. We had a fantastic time with our dear friends, but we had it seemed like we were driving for freaking ever. And we wound up in West Virginia for part of it. And I'm like, holy cats, how far away does he live? And it turns out it isn't that far. It's just that coming from Buffalo, it's a long way to get there. But coming back from, between where he lives and where I live is not that bad. Oh, but anyway, that's exciting. That is so exciting. I think, my next signing will be, let me check it here. July 9th, 10th, and 11th at the Imaginarium. Go to entertheimaginarium.com. I will be there with Mr. Brian Rodman and also Kathy and Matthew Jackson and Molly Daniels. It is a great 3-day show and also a great way to get information on how to up your game. And they're also going to be doing a virtual con along with their physical con, not unlike HoloCon this year. It's going to be a multimedia kind of thing, so please check it out. But anyway, we will be there at we will be set up at the Imaginarium. Looking forward to seeing you all. And back in the cereal box. Good morning, John B. Pica. Hey there, friends and foes. Happy Monday. Sorry I'm joining almost an hour late. I've been at the doctor this morning getting blood panel results. Hope you are doing well, johnpica.com. Hashtag always promote your friends. But anyway, also check out Back in the Cereal Box Saturday morning at every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. And also, please check out the other stuff that John's doing. He's got his own network, and he is amazing. John, hope you're doing well. And speaking of doing well and amazing, there's Nita Lanning. Mwah. Good morning to you, darling. Hope you're doing well. Check out the Ragin, R-A-G-I-N, the Asian and the Cajun getting together and getting spicy. And Christian Illusion, Jake Lindsay, Willow, mermaids can be tamed. The missionary on Stranger Tides learned that mermaid and fell in tamed that mermaid and fell in love. It can happen. But like Willow said, check out the Legend of the Sirens. Those are mermaids. Well, actually, they had sirens in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That's there's a lot more legends like that than there are of Disney's. Let's put it that way. Oh, blessed coffee. Blessed coffee. Oh, and I forgot to bring my stuff. I got some stuff over the weekend that I picked up at Comics Cubed in Kokomo, Indiana. And one of them was a bucket list thing. We'll have to have that later. We'll have it on Wednesday. We'll have it on Wednesday morning. Grant Lankert says, Brian Rodman, I would agree with BKM on this one. It's not on you for people to read the book before your next campaign starts. Think about comics that come out monthly. Your book has been out much longer than that. They'll be fine. You do your thing and they can catch up. Yeah. And the thing is also people may go from one campaign and not back the other for different reasons. Life happens. Sometimes your finances, come up short and you got to take care of, the essentials. If it's between rent and somebody else's comic book, always pick rent. It's a great play. The music is wonderful. But anyway, there's various reasons why somebody may not follow you from issue 1 to issue 2. Like I missed issue 1, and that was simply my own lack of organization. The only thing that may keep me from doing some stuff this time is I'm on a budget because Cookie saw how much I was spending on Kickstarter stuff and got mad at me. But anyway, so there's a lot of factors. Don't stress out over it. I think everyone here who has done Kickstarters would agree with me. You just keep working on keeping the ones that are with you. And, and I'll come out and say, I think, well, I haven't read the first one. How entitled are you, reader, that you think a creator has to put out things just on your schedule? Seriously, it will come out when it comes out. It's just, you do you, man. You do you. And Willow Skyler says, Eric, you'd think that there was a position at Marvel whose job it was to research these details. The thing is, back in the day, there were people that knew the Marvel mythology in and out and could keep track of their own stuff. There were several writers, I think, that couldn't keep track of their own. Chris Claremont. Anyway, but now the problem, one of the reasons I don't read as many Marvels is that the continuity has become so convoluted that I can't keep track of it. And I had a good mind for this sort of thing. And then one day I said, I've got a good mind to leave. And I did. I do read some Marvel titles. The only one I'm buying right now is the new Ultraman title. And it's not connected to the mainstream Marvel universe, so I'm good. But even then, it's not 100% in the Ultraman continuity, but I'm good with that. It's okay. So anyway, Grant Lankert says, if you're trying to tame them, I'm wondering if that's maybe why you don't have much luck with the fair sex Jake. Oh dear, let's not get personal, people. And Mike, Jimmy and Larson DeBruin, if you haven't signed up yet for Life on Korra #4, we're going live this Friday, June 11th. You don't want to miss it. And if you're back during the launch party at Ragin AVC, you get a free print. That's a good thing. So check that out. Definitely give that some love. And Mike Jimmy's going to be on Clever Tile Pending one of these weeks real darn soon. and I'm looking forward to that, man. Looking forward to getting to know you a little better, because we kind of run into each other, and I wind up liking people a lot more. Anyway, Jake Lindsay says, I used to date a banshee in high school. She's my ex now. Wait, she's still a banshee. Banshee is not the term I use for a number of my exes. Moving on, Mike Jimmy Delorge says, OMG, Blackmore's Night. Love that band. I do too. I'm a huge Richie Blackmore fan. And, how does it feel to, have written one of the most, am I wrong? One of the most iconic guitar leads ever. That dun, 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 dun. There goes my monetization. It's kind of like the opening to Day Tripper, by the Beatles. It's or the opening to Heaven by the Dashboard Light by Todd Rundgren. Todd Rundgren playing guitar, or was it Roll Over Beethoven? That great Chuck Berry lead, or if you want the Carl Wilson lead on Fun by the Beach Boys, direct ripoff. Of course, then again, that wasn't really Carl Wilson you hear on the record, but that's another issue. From the National Small Press Publisher, you're correct. When you have a perfect pairing on a book, you get a better comic. Yeah, and I read the stuff that Stan, and I'll hold up. I yield to no man in my admiration for Stan or Jack, but you read the stuff they did separately, and it did not have that magic. That even despite their personal differences, when they got together, there was a magic that happened. That Stan had a solid plotter and a huge, somebody who was hugely imaginative, feeding him concepts which inspired Stan to come up with great dialogue. And Stan was a great editor. Say what you will. He was a really, really good editor. The only person I think he ever screwed up on was himself one time on a Captain America story. But or Chris Claremont and John Byrne. I mean, after a while, these two were like this towards their run together. But when they got together and got in lockstep, the X-Men, folks, tell comic fans, classic comic fans, tell me that their X-Men run was about as good as comics can ever get. It was great stuff. And Grant Langer says, Skunk, I would like to do some anthologies in the future. I don't think we have room in the next one, but maybe in the future you'd be willing to submit a proposal. Yes, I don't think I haven't signed an NDA. I'm working with Grant on one. And Grant's like, never again. Anyway, Jake Lindsay says, here's a harder question. Girl Witch or Bride of Frankenstein, which would you marry? I don't know. The Bride of Frankenstein could go to pieces. Girl Witch. I don't know. I'd say Cookies bewitched me, so there's my answer. And you could wind up with a Samantha Stevens. You never know. And from the National Small Press Publisher, and no, the only time I worry when you are there asking questions is when I have people like Kara on. You get overly chummy and aggressive, to put it nicely. Hey, I told you my Kara story. She and I are friends, so there. I was actually well behaved. You know me well enough now. I was well behaved on your show when Kara Nicole was on. So there. No, but also I will say one thing. That sometimes when I am on a show and I see somebody's not getting questions, I will ask questions to help move things along. And and we were getting a lot of questions on the YouTube channel, so I decided to supply some stuff. And look at what a good show you got. You should pay me to be there, Joe. And Joe's like, you're gonna have to pay me to come back to Comic Book Spectrum. Anyway, Scott Cracker says, I suppose that would be dependent on what the theme of the anthology would be. Yeah, definitely. And back at Sarahbox says that Marvel style you were describing is how we are creating the League of Impossibles comic. Yeah, and that's really working out. I really like that comic. You and Doug Aller are doing a super job on that. So check out the Illusionists, the Impossibilists. Excuse me, the Impossibilists on Patreon.com, and you will be linked to John B. Pica stuff, and it's really good. I'm not just saying that because you're here. And anyway, like the theme is pretty princesses and ponies. It's going to be kind of hard for me to work in that environment. Yeah, but sometimes I work in unfamiliar environments just to challenge myself, just to see if I can do it. like one of the books I'm writing later this year is, if I ever get to it, is going to be a fantasy romance. Dig it. Anyway, Mike, Jimmy, Lurch of the Brew, and I've done 2 anthologies, one about coffee, one about tea. They're a ton of fun. If you do another one about coffee, let me know if you need a writer. And Will, Skylar, Jake, how about using characters who actually are there on their own free will? The Bride of Frankenstein is a character that was forced to exist and was not remotely happy to be alive. That's true. The movie version, she was not happy. Now, in the book version, she never even got the chance to live before Dr. Frankenstein kind of came to his senses and destroyed his work on her. Although I've got some ideas for stories like, what if he didn't succeed, But anyway, but yeah, that's the one thing that gets me about a lot of classic literature and shall we say some adult material coming, especially from Asia. A lot of that is really rapey, you didn't think about when you were younger, but now it's like Snow White's going to marry the first guy that kisses her. Dear God. Anyway, Joe Dog McHale says a blonde couldn't figure out the tiger puzzle, so she called her boyfriend. When he came over, looked at the box, and he said, "Honey, let's put the Frosted Flakes back in the box, okay?" Oh my God! For anyone who doesn't like blonde jokes, the address is Joe Dog at. Anyway, and werewolves can keep you warm. Oh yeah, and of course Skunk Rockers. Yeah, I'll stick with the werewolf. And Willow, that's the only girl monsters I know from movies. Witches, vampires, mermaids, any male monster can be turned into female. Don't be sexist. I mean, give them some, let them prowl and have some fun too, right? And good morning to our darling Cindy Cap. Mwah, Cindy, congratulations on the great job you're doing. Now, please, folks, let's please support Cindy Cap. She's got like 13 hours to get to her stretch goal on Animal Eye #1, her very first comic book, folks. Think of how she has promoted you. And if she has mentioned you on her break from work, people, yes, I am trying to shame you. If that's what it takes, we got to get her to 4,000 before today. Please check out Animal Eye. It's a great all ages comic. If not for you, buy it for somebody you know, somebody with some kids. They will dig this, I promise. But we got to support Cindy. She has done so much for us. And good morning, nerds, geeks, freaks, and other fun folks. I'll take the freak. Anyway, glad you're here, Cindy. Hope your morning's going well. And see, I know a lot more, and you don't want me to start playing this game. I'll get weird with it very quick, says the Skunk Rocker. We need to do an after hours thing, kind of like a very, 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 very late night version of Nevermind the Furthermore, but more like the Saturday Night Stupid O'Clock, where we won't broadcast it on all the platforms. Maybe we'll just do it on Twitch. And hello to our new Twitch viewers. We hope you're enjoying what you see. But anyway, I like when we get weird. It's fun. Anyway, back in Sarah Box. Although if I had to type, Lily Munster might just fit the bill. Ooh, good choice. Lily Munster. I forgot about her. Yeah. Or Morticia Adams. Oh my God, did I ever have a crush on Carolyn Jones? I'll tell the world. And Animal Eye is $330, or actually not $330. Yeah, $332 away from the next stretch goal. She's got, and I believe somebody just backed it. 66 backers. Thank you to everyone who has backed that so far. But anyway, please check out that bit.ly address there. And please check out Animal Eye. Honestly, it is great. If you don't like it, I'm sure you've got somebody in your family or know someone who might. It's an all ages comic. It doesn't mean it's written down to anyone. It's just that it's written so that more people of all ages can enjoy it. I'm 65 and I dug it. Okay. And oops, sounds like Brian is in big trouble with Cookie. Carl, when am I not in big trouble with Cookie? I ask you that. And Brian's not shoveling fast enough to get him out of that hole. He needs an earth mover. Yeah. If you guys could drive over from Danville and bring an earth mover with you, like a backhoe or something, I think I need it. And happy with happy life, happy wife, happy life. That's what I say. And for all of our mock fighting, I think people that know us know that I like worship the water Cookie walks on. Which, by the way, we are close to celebrating our 30th anniversary together. And and I'm not saying it's because of me. Okay. Anyway, Rick Bradley, you're using me as a positive example. How dare you? Oh, wait, positive. That's good. Oh, okay, move along. Says Rick Bradley. No, we were. We were talking about people that you and Michaela Jade, who decided you were going to do this thing. You asked the right people the right questions. You did the right work. You got feedback. And next thing you know, you guys are publishing. Yeah, so seriously, good examples. All right. I'd use myself, but I'm a fair example. It's where I went from there that I went wrong. And anyway, holiday humor, funny jokes. Those are the best kind. Check me out on Smashwords with Santa Sign and more. And also more fun than a streaming service. That's me. And you can get a binge if you buy all my books on Amazon. Thank you, Cindy Cap. Love you, hon. And oh wait, she's a British werewolf. We're ticking all the right boxes here, says the skunk rocker. Oh yeah. And Lily Munster was sexy. I also love Morticia from the original TV show. Oh yeah. Well, Angelica Houston had nothing to apologize for either, if you know what I mean. And I'm sure you do. But no, and the thing is, I love Elvira. One, because she's naughty, she's funny. But also, she's damned intelligent. There's a lot of her jokes. I'm like, wait a minute, that's pretty deep. I like that. She knows what she's doing. And speaking of knowing what they're doing, Cindy Cap does Wolf, Cry for Amanda Tucker. She writes about Coy Wolf on Amazon. She is amazing. And here's a question for the girls. Which male monster would you date? Asks Jake Lindsay. And the artwork of Bill Sarn says, join the Far Out and Groovy Kids by clicking on Sarnard76 on Facebook for better days from yesteryear. He has a goofy gallery of snazzy, jazzy sketches that'll tickle your innards, warm your heart, and are always available for purchase safe and securely through PayPal. So check out the artwork of Bill Sarn, where everything old is new again. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill Sarn. Good message here. Good meeting. And no one prefers a floppy. I'm just saying, says Michaela Jade. Yeah, that's true. But no, I'm not going there. Anyway, back in the Zero Box, there are several publishers now that are moving only to trade paperback collections and abandoning single monthly issues altogether. Well, there's a good reason for that. In that the regular pamphlets, if we'll call them, so as not to disappoint Michaela, have a shelf life. Really, if they're more than a month old, a lot of people just don't want them because they're old. But a trade paperback is, people don't have that same perception of it. It's they're pretty evergreen. So I can see why a number of publishers are moving towards a larger format. Like the manga publishers, they put out a book like this every few months. And they have a regular magazine like Shonen Jump or something like that. But, they could release things 32 pages, but there aren't many of those that have succeeded over the years. Even though you get a regular comic book on a regular basis. But more people, it's like, let's say you discover Naruto right now, or Oh My Goddess, or Ranma 1/2. You look at book 35 and you say, oh wait, here's book 1. I'll get on board there. See? So I think it's a matter of consumer what am I trying to say? The way they view the marketplace, that a book has more permanence and less of a timestamp on it than, say, a regular comic, because I think we've trained ourselves to think that way. Scott Gard says, are we talking about male monsters now? I can still have a British werewolf, though, right? I mean, his hair was perfect. Oh, I've got a werewolf for you. Oliver, and this is a sexy guy. This is, back in the day, he was a sexy guy. Oliver Reed from... oh God, I want to say Curse of the Werewolf, but he did a werewolf movie early in his career when he was young and lean and muscular and not the guy from Tommy. Okay. So I would, he was a good looking guy. Warren Hull, or was it Warren Hull from Werewolves of London, the original movie? Now, that was a good looking guy too. And also Lon Chaney. I still think that the Wolfman is one of the greatest creations in monsterdom ever. You talk about a tortured hero. He is it. Cindy Cap says Stompy Robots and Simple Swords from Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockard, who also does a great show on Friday nights at 8 p.m. on the Rising Tide Network. Check him out on Amazon too. And Cindy says Roll Cruise Art Incorporated has already done the cover for issue 2 of Animal Eye. They are prepping that and getting it ready to go. So please check that out. We will be promoting that Kickstarter when it happens. But go to artstation.com and check out the artwork of Roll Cruz. He's crazy talented. He really is. Skunk Carter says, oh man, I missed that Ginger Snaps comment earlier. Catherine Isabella is awesome in that role. If I can't have a British werewolf, I'll take a Canadian one if it's her. Oh yeah. And I had a crush on her when I was a teenager. Oh yeah. I cannot blame you at all. And Magic and Night Reich, the new book by John B. Pica, get me one right now. I'll get it right on Amazon. Also, you'll get it at the Imaginarium on July 9th through the 11th in Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to be a good time. We will be promoting that. And as I did, Skunk, I turned for her. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. And the Chevy Nova didn't sell in Spanish-speaking countries. Nova doesn't go in Spanish. That's right. I forgot about that. That's true. Yeah, and this was before Google came around, so I forgot about that, Cindy. Thank you. And on the flip side of that, sorry to disappoint any Buffy fans, but a male Canadian werewolf. I like Seth Green, but I wouldn't date Seth Green. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, I see you there. But yeah, I would go for like Warren Hull and somebody like that. Or like I said, early Oliver Reed. There was a time when people were saying Oliver Reed was like the British Marlon Brando, very intense, handsome, and versatile. But like Marlon Brando, as the years went on, he started picking not the best roles he could do and started letting himself, get a little lax in his self-care, let's say. So anyway, the Cindy Cap promotes The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Anyone heard how Christian Basil is doing on his 1,300-hour viewing goal? Yes, earlier he was here, Cindy, and said that he has fallen short of it, but the quest continues. Check out The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS tomorrow night, Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. on the Hanging with the Web Show Network. And cool new book from Amazon, Amy Hale. Amy Hale has great books. We'll be running a promo for her at the end of the show that you'll want to stick around to see. And I knew a girl back in the 80s who slept all day and was out all night. Maybe she was a female vampire or never mind. Well, we've got our own darling Sarah. She is nocturnal. She is openly nocturnal. So, I get it. There was a point in time where when I was working in a bakery after I graduated from college, and for 6 months, I was like sleeping during the day and working at night. And when and it was over the winter, and then like in spring, one morning I came out like at 6 a.m. There's the sun beaming into my eyes, and I thought I'd gone blind. And started Art 76 for vintage cartoonists. Check it out. And he's also got great programs on there, and you will be entertained. Joe Dog McKeel, scheduling versus binge has advantages of promoting other shows on the platform. Once someone starts binging, they stay there and says seeing any show ads, not seeing products placed on other shows. That is true. You have to consider your marketing with all this. And Cindy Cap also talks about a new book from Michaela Jade, part of her Warriors trilogy. Also, check out Michaela Jade on YouTube, and please subscribe to her channel. And Poetry in Motion, that's our Teresa Dunn. Check out Poetry Expressions 1 and 2. She's working on number 3. It is awesome. And there is no good way to get to Athens, Ohio, says back of the cereal box. Yeah. It's like Metropolis or especially Chester, Illinois. It is not close enough to an interstate that's convenient. I mean, if you go to St. Louis and then down Missouri and then back over the river to Illinois, it's still not faster. It's like untouched by road progress. So yeah, Athens is, but it wasn't bad coming home from Athens to Lafayette, because you go up to Columbus, take the Beltway to 70 to Indy, 465 to 65, which comes out about a half mile from my house. So anyway, and it's all about the money. Joe Dog, that's true. And even at our level, we have to consider that when creating this stuff. money's got to be a factor in it, whether it's having it or generating it. Cindy Cap says, Pops Van Zandt will be helping me close out the Animal Kickstarter tonight at 8:30 Central. Check it out on Pops Van Zandt, and please subscribe to his YouTube channel. He deserves more people. And yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean Mermaid was the one that the pirate was dating, says Jake Lindsay. That's true, he was. And John Pica will be at an Imaginarium. Well, you should know, back of the cereal box, and I look forward to seeing that guy there because he's awesome. And Cindy Cap says, the Historical Fencing Guild, support your local swordmaster. He's local to me, and he's awesome. He is an amazing high energy kind of guy. You will love his show. I do go back and watch it. And I like the interpretations of the sirens in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Oh my God, I love that movie. I finally got to see it a few years after it was released. Clooney is amazing. Clooney is, oh my God, you know, he's one guy that, you know, I don't think he gets enough credit as an actor. Oh, and right now he is sponsoring an Omaze contest on omaze.com. Omaze is a service where you vie for incredible prizes. Like you can get your own pimped out van that costs probably more than most people's houses. Or you can attend a movie premiere with a celebrity in tow, and you have dinner with the celebrity, and all of your expenses from the time you set foot out of the house to the time they bring you home are all covered, including the taxes. Really great. And all of it goes towards worthwhile causes. But George Clooney has one right now, and it's where he becomes a roommate, and it's A versus B kind of thing, where Clooney goes, yeah, I started rooming with this one person, and he and I get along great. And then the other person goes, I hate Clooney. Clooney is a jerk. And, you know, and then it shows why Clooney is oblivious to his roommate's suffering during the COVID. It is fun to watch that. Look for, I think it's omaze.com/Clooney. But anyway, please check it out. Go to omaze.com and get some good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, there's Nerd Culture right there. Please subscribe to Ryan Permis's channel. And please go back to, and I quote from last Saturday, where I am a guest and we had a good time. And that movie rules. Skunk Rocker, I couldn't agree more. That was great. We are studying to be Jedi. And Cindy Cap from the Desk of the Small Press Publisher every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Watch that show. Joe D is a great interviewer. And check out last Thursday's Comic Book Spectrum, where he was one of our guest panelists because he was amazing. Great stuff. And let's see, we just had another dump here. Anyway, Cindy Cap is also saying, it ain't easy being Wheezy. You can ask Brian Rodman and check out his campaign for the nebulizer right now. Fun comic book. It's going to be great. Real Mermaids, says the back of the cereal box, are horrific. Kind of like Ewoks. Yeah, those little monsters. I'm telling you, they take down ATACs. You know what I'm saying? And Philip Thompson, glad to see you. Hey, guy, how you doing? And oh yeah, the DC continuity is so much better. Eric, they've had more time to screw theirs up. Okay, they were screwing theirs up when Marvel was still comprehensible. But now they're both, you know, even with the New 52 and Flashpoint and Rebirth and all the crises. And by the way, this week the crises did happen. So yeah, it's pretty bad over there at DC too. But I just don't think it's anywhere as horrible as Marvel is anymore. And I really miss Mark Gruenwald. I do too. He was the only guy who could keep all this crap straight. Plus, he was a damn good writer. He wrote so many great Captain America stories and others. And I'm out of break. # bring cookie home. Don't forget, tip your host. And I'll catch up with you all later. Cindy Cap, CKOEPB.com. Check out her books and check out their publications.com. Check out Animal Eye, #1, her current book, which is in its final 12 hours or so on Kickstarter. Please support that book because she's wonderful. And there's a guy I like, Dave Rediger. Good morning, Brian. Another wonderful broadcast today. Thank you. Angela and I are very excited to tail you around this summer to various events. Yes, that was our meeting yesterday, and I should have worn a hat, dude. Why didn't anyone tell me? Ouch, that hurts. Anyway, the things I do for my friends. But anyway, yeah, Dave and I are working on a project together I'm very excited about. And please keep following us both. And check out Dave's. Dave put in a link to your YouTube channel and see all kinds of great content he's been doing for a long time on there. And let's get this guy's numbers up. Brian Robin, well, it's about that time, my friend. Don't die, feed cookie. Thank you for being an inspiration and such an encouragement in the comic book industry. Doing what we can, brother, just like you are. You rock, my friend. So do you, Brian. Stay healthy, brother. We need you. Have a great day, everyone. # bring cookie home. # rising tide. # laugh like the shadow.
Who knows how Brian got that sunburn on the top of his bald head? The shadow knows.
Ooh, that feels good. Anyway, Grant Lanker, Jake, sorry if my comment came off as harsh. I meant it more as advice. I'm sure you took it that way. And oh, yeah, I got to send you the preview for Loca in a bit, Brian. Yeah, please. I'd love to see it. And also for funsies, hashtag moo like an Australian cow. An upside down Australian cow.
Oh.
There we go. That was for you, Brian. Anyway, Skycracker says, hey, so there's this band that plays at HoloCon every year, and they have a song about a mermaid. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because otherwise you'll get age restricted. Oh, my favorite kind of music. Joe Dog McKeel says, did you know Smoke on the Water is based on a real event? Yes. About there was a lot of things that came out of that too. Frank Zappa also wrote a mini opera about it from his live on at the Fillmore album. But part of it was that some idiot with a flare gun, like in the song, burned a place down where Deep Purple, Frank Zappa, and the Mothers of Invention and other bands were playing. And that's what the song was about. Yeah, so I remember that. That's interesting. And I just delivered a package to a gym, says the Skunkrocker, and I went in there and they were playing like the hardest techno I've ever heard in a public space. Like, holy crap, it was brutal. I loved it. Man, this sounds like fun. I love it. And yes, it is that time. Hashtag feed cookie, don't die. And Skunkrocker says, if I lived around there, I'd go to this gym because they got some good music going. Yeah, there were some malls that I did mall shows that I dug the music. And it's like, can we have more shows here? Clyde Hall, the other a vital component of Comic Book Spectrum, says, I'll be doing a couple of panels during the virtual Super Friends celebration. On Sunday, I host a Q&A with Diane Sherry Case, Lana Lang from Superman the movie. She's a charming lady. I got to talk to her one time. She is a doll. And anyway, good luck on that, Carl. Clyde. That's gonna be great. I saw Carl or anyway. For this one, small press exposure. Less than 26 minutes to time to feed cookie. Actually, it's about 8 now. BKM on Twitch. Guess I gotta make an account now. And you already have one, Joe Dog. We talked about this as the Skunk Rocker. And I'd love to date a girl that is cousins with Van Helsing's Monster Hunter, Jake Lindsay. Aim high, brother. Aim high. And Ed don't like it. It's grown up and not cute and new. The Skunk Rocker says, are you talking about your Twitch account or the cat or both? And Philip Thompson is doing a live Thursday for his book on Amazon, and we'll tell the origin of it. That's super, man. Keep going. That's how you do it. And Skunkcracker says somebody lost their laundry all over the highway. Oh dear. Not me. And did you just say Oliver Reed was sexy, says the Skunkcracker? I mean, I guess, but I always thought he was terrifying. Every movie I've ever seen him in, he's always a psycho. He glares at everything like he wants to kill it. Yeah, that's his appeal, man. He's dangerous, just like Marlon Brando in The Wild Ones, But yes, if you can, there was one called Black Leather that he did where he played like the head of a cycle gang, and it had the stupidest music. Every time these guys would it looked like a musical. All the bad guys, this teenage gang that Oliver Reed was one of the head of, they all would walk down the street and you hear the music, black leather, dun, 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 black leather, dun, and every time they walked out, they did this. It's like, it went from, oh, that's interesting, to, will you shut up? And Molly Daniels says, greetings, had a great time at QuadCon Peoria and plan to return again next year. Well, cool. Hey, let me know give me some details on that, if you would, Molly. I'd love to hear about it. Scott Garger says, I mean, I haven't seen this werewolf movie you're talking about, but holy crap, Oliver Reed is like, those eyes of his would turn you to stone. I'm not, seriously. And he was, in his younger days, he was such an intense, amazing actor. But he started reading his press releases, it sounds like. And other personal business from Molly Daniels. Granddaughter Alex is 9 years old today. Where did the time go? Well, happy birthday to Alex. Give her a hug from all the Nevermorians. Michaela J. So now I know none of you guys have read my books. I don't care what the dude shifts in as long as he's muscled. Yummy. Mm-hmm. No, I openly tell you, I have not read your books. It's on the pile. I haven't gotten around to it yet. There's a lot of people I haven't read, and I love them like I love you. Or maybe not. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, Grant Lanker, there are some good late night talk show appearances by Oliver Reed. He didn't even care if he was drunk on TV. Yeah, I remember, I think he did like a Dick Cavett one time, and he was sloshed, and Cavett wasn't happy about it. And Scott Clark says, that's a lot of British people. I love when they get drunk on Big Fat Quiz. Yeah. And Nightright features a sultry female werewolf as one of the protagonists back of the cereal box, and they would know. And I found Homer, Illinois yesterday. Oh, Molly, I'm so sorry. Actually, Cookie and I almost wound up living there in one of the buildings. We'll have to tell you about it sometime. And I am Smut. You watch Doctor Who? Indeed, I do. Because don't you know, my friend, bow ties are cool. So are fezzes. So anyway, we're glad to see you here from Twitch. Hope you make us a habit. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 10 o'clock to whenever I stop talking. And we also have a Clever Tile Pinning on Tuesday nights where we interview creatives about creativity and the business behind it. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights, I co-host a show called Comic Book Spectrum. So glad you're here. Hope you make us a habit. We'd love to see you back. Scott Barker says, see, this whole entire conversation was making me want to put a British werewolf woman in a story. And now you say that John and I don't want to now because you already did it. No, do yours. Do your story. It won't matter. It will be yours, and that's what makes it special, man. And I love the show. I thought I was headed to Funky Town. Somehow I ended up in Crazy Town, says Joe Dog McKeel. Yeah. And my version of Funky Town is the one by that Australian hard rock group and not although I do like lip sync. And who, TF, you talking to? Comments and people like you. Now I have replied to you. Now you know the secret of this show. And rather wandered to Illinois on Friday and Saturday, cut 2 hours for my driving time. Yeah, Homer's a nice little place. There's a place there. I almost wound up buying the building and the business. It was an old opera house, I think, and beautiful 2-story building. But we couldn't get financing. We're trying to get it in 2008. If that gives you a clue. But I like Homer. It's a nice little community. It is really cool. And do you have schizophrenia? Yeah, and I know how to spell it too. And you're insane. These people aren't real any more than you are. Anyway, so wake up. I've been awake for 2 hours now. And Grant Lanker says Oliver Reed was Keith Moon's drinking partner. If that tells you anything about how much he drank, yeah, there's your clue right there. And the artwork of Bill Sarn says, great moo as always. You're a speed demon on Zero Turn Lawn Boy. Got a boogie. Got to get some PSA blood work today. Hope it comes out well, my friend. Everyone have a nice day and do a good deed. Via con Dios amigos. Happy trails till we meet again. Hope you have a great one, Bill. Keep us posted, man. And I mean, Joe Dog, I'm here, so it's kind of funky, says the Skunk Rocker. We like it funky. And Jake Lindsay says, I noticed your tassel on your hat is backwards. It is not. You are backwards. I'm not backwards. You are. Anyway, Scott Cracker says, yeah, Brian's hip like that, Jake. You know all the cool kids wear their hats backwards. That's right. Anyway, it's almost noon. I'm sure you want to go and I'll say it, don't die, feed Cookie, and bring me more British werewolf women. I'll give you my leftovers. And Carl Witzman says, Brian is confusing me with Clyde now. I'm honored. Brian is just confusing. And Jake Lindsay says, one last joke. Why did Dracula get dumped? He sucked the life out of his girlfriend. I've had a few girlfriends like that too. Anyway, thank you, Jake. And Back of the Cereal Box. Oh yes, several Back of the Cereal Box hosts will be part of virtual Super Friends celebration. Johnny does turn your geek hobby into a career. Aren't we both, brother? Aren't we both? Anyway, there we go. And we have caught up with your comments. And so with that, with 4 minutes left to go, we are going to close out this show. And even though we are not real, we are fake. We have no one here real that we are talking to. So anyway, I aim Samut. Anyway, hope you come back, man. Hope we've convinced you of our fantasy world here, and hope you all have a great day. And we hope you make it a good day for someone else, because that's what Rising Tide is about. And ask the people who make it happen. They get the benefits, and we hope you do too. Anyway, one of the benefits is the Rising Tide, the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We have your entertainment covered on Facebook and on YouTube 7 days a bleeping week. We've got it all, from not just comic books and general conversation. We also have armchair rocket science. We have cigars. We have adult beverages. We have career advice. We have everything you could possibly want in a network and more coming. So please check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please sign up for our Facebook page and follow us on YouTube and on Facebook. And as always, folks, if you've enjoyed any part of this, please give this a like if you're watching it on Facebook. Also, give the page you're watching on a like as a thank you to our host. Also, please subscribe on YouTube. We are at 507 right now. We'd love to hit 1,000. By full monetization by the end of the year, and we can only do it with your help. So please, I would really love it if we could. And also with Cookie, and that's what makes it happen. Anyway, please check out our Patreon page. We offer you a number of great benefits for a modest sum every month. And these wonderful people support us, and we hope you will too. So check us out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. In fact, some of them have pledged at the $10 level, and they get to download some of our books, like my brand new one, Snow Ambition, the brand new Abraham Snow adventure in continuity from Ben Books, available now for 99 cents on Amazon. You'll love it. I am proud of that book. And we've got a few more comments. Let's see if we can get them in. And comment, dump, engage. That's enough out of you, Jake. Don't encourage it. And later on, Carly, thank you for being here, darling. And I get on a conference call and come back, and you're still talking about vampire girlfriends. We know what's hot around here, Eric, and we're glad we can bring you into the conversation. And have a great day, Molly Daniels. Mwah. Love you, hon. Hope you have a great day yourself. And we hope you have a great Monday, too. And one way to do it is make it great for someone else and spread a little joy today, all right? So we're going to get some rainy weather here in the heartland, and we hope it's sunny wherever you're at. Have a fantastic Monday. Thank you for watching this show. We hope you'll check us out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. when we have Grant Lankard on Clever Title Pending. Please bring your questions, and Grant and I will bring answers. Actually, I'll make Grant come up with the answers. I'll teach him. Anyway, Grant's going to be great. You are great, and never let anyone forget it. Have a fantastic day, everyone. And as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Thanks for watching Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great day, everyone.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Southwest of Chicago, there is a small, secluded cemetery known as Bachelors Grove. And it is one of the most haunted places in the United States. Author Brian K. Morris brings you a collection of writings that will help you navigate this ghostly graveyard, if you dare. The Haunting Scripts of Bachelors Grove is available now on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Hello there, Super Friends. I'm Kelly Gettner of Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, or you might just know me because you're interested in the Virtual Super Friends Celebration. If you don't know what the Virtual Super Friends Celebration is, I'm here to tell you about it. This is a perfectly free virtual convention that's coming up Friday, June 11th through Sunday, June 13th. This will be hosted on Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, our YouTube, and our Facebook. I hope you join us.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.